Welcome back, legends. Your support is my power. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Brenton, 34 years old, and I bootstrapped my mobile app firm from the ground up after ditching my small-town roots a decade ago. When my grandfather passed away 6 months back, it wasn't just a family loss. It gutted me, stripping away my fiercest champion. Last weekend, my sister Amanda roped me into a family meal at her place, pitching it as a chance to bridge the years of silence between us. What I didn't see coming was how that evening would rip the lid off a long-simmering family scam. I'd spent months arming myself with proof that could flip the script entirely. Before I dive into the chaos that unfolded at that table, drop a comment on where you're tuning in from, and smash that like and subscribe if you're hooked. I promise, the way I flipped the betrayal on its head is worth sticking around for. Flashback to my childhood. Grandpa was my anchor. My folks split when I was just 8, leaving a void he filled like a true dad. My sister Amanda and I grew up mostly under Mom's roof, but weekends and summers? Those were magic at Grandpa Joe's spot, tucked right behind his beloved hardware shop, Carpenter's Corner. That place was his heartbeat, a community staple for over 4 decades. Amanda and I veered off on wildly different tracks from the jump. She was the shining star, top grades, debate squad leader, prom queen material. Me? I was the tinkerer. While she racked up academic trophies, I shadowed Grandpa in the shop, wrenching on gadgets, sorting inventory, and sneaking peeks at the dusty PC in the stockroom to teach myself programming. My parents and sis? They rolled their eyes at my geeky obsessions. Pointless hobby. Dad would grunt on his rare drop-ins. Stick to practical trades, Mom chimed in. Amanda? She'd flash that smug grin, waving her flawless transcript like a flag while my report cards hovered around a C average. Grandpa Joe was the lone voice in my corner. Brenton, kiddo, he'd rumble, his rough palms steady on my back. You've got a unique lens on the world. That's no curse, it's your superpower. Things are shifting fast out there, and you're wired for it like nobody else. At 24, I pulled the trigger and bolted for Silicon Valley. The family? Total mutiny. Mom sobbed rivers. Dad branded me a flake. Amanda, straight out of law school and climbing the ladder at some elite firm, hit me with a sermon on flushing my future down the drain chasing video game nonsense. Grandpa? He was my quiet ally. The night I rolled out, he pressed a fat envelope into my hand. $5,000 scraped from shop profits. Build something real, he murmured, pulling me into a bear hug that lingered. Those first Cali years? Pure grind. I crashed in a shoebox apartment with 3 strangers, hustled side gigs, and hammered code till dawn. But momentum built. My debut app? A no-frills inventory tracker for mom-and-pop shops, sparked by the clunky ledgers Grandpa swore by. It hooked neighborhood merchants, then snowballed nationwide. By 30, Build Bridge apps boasted 27 staffers and a multi-million-dollar valuation. I cracked the code, literally. Through the highs and crashes, I rang Grandpa every Sunday, rain or shine. He never fully grokked my gig, but his pride beamed like a spotlight. My grandson, the Wizard of Wires, he'd crow to every customer at the counter. The rest of the clan? Distant at best. I mailed holiday swag and birthday loot, dialed in for obligatory check-ins, but resentment simmered. They chalked my wins up to dumb luck, not the sweat and gambles that fueled them. Amanda, now a sharp-elbowed mergers and acquisitions shark, fired off the occasional email laced with doom and gloom pieces on tech crashes and startup graveyards. About a year out, Grandpa's spark started fading. Our chats clipped shorter as fatigue crept in. I pushed to visit, but he waved it off. Don't ditch your big league hustle for an old-timer like me, son. Just a touch under the weather. I should have pushed harder. Should have clocked the waver in his tone, the loops in his stories. I was neck-deep in a killer product rollout, figuring we had tomorrow. Then Mom's call shattered it. Grandpa slipped away peacefully in the night, 6 months ago. I jetted home for the service, hollowed out by sorrow and what-ifs. The turnout was massive. Grandpa was a town legend. I hovered on the fringes with my kin, feeling like a ghost. Amanda ran the show, of course, delivering a tear-jerking eulogy on his family devotion and local roots, nailing every emotional beat. Mom and Dad gazed at her like she hung the moon. No one tapped me for the mic post service. We filed into the family attorney's office for the will readout. Money wasn't the draw for me. I was set. I figured Grandpa would split things even between Amanda and me, Maybe earmark heirlooms for the cousins. The hammer dropped when Mr. Peterson announced the hardware store, his crown jewel, went solely to Amanda. Me? A modest cash bump. The shop he'd hyped as my destiny? Now hers. Hold up, there's gotta be a mix-up. I stammered, gut-punched. Grandpa swore it had passed to me one day. Amanda's jaw clenched. He reconsidered. Saw it should land with someone who stuck around, who showed up, who actually gave a damn. Mom and Dad bobbed their heads in sync. The lawyer squirmed, but vouched the docs were ironclad, signatures and all. I bailed town the next morning, reeling and raw. None of it added up. We'd hashed out store plans mere months prior. He was all in on me revamping it, while keeping its soul intact. A silent flip-flop like that? Without a heads up? Nah. Weeks dragged, but doubt gnawed. I looped in a discreet PI to probe Grandpa's final stretch. The dirt that surfaced? Chilling. Shop hands spilled that Amanda morphed into a daily fixture there 3 months pre-passing, despite zero prior vibe for the place. She commandeered his books, screened his guests, shadowed every doc visit. The kicker, that revised will, inked 2 weeks before he faded. Smack in the window, his charts flagged heavy meds clouding his judgment. I clocked 6 months stacking the deck, affidavits from aides and clerks, timelines galore. Turns out Amanda was drowning in debt despite her fat paychecks, rotten investments, a McMansion bleeding cash, hubby Richard's real estate, flops piling up. They were starving for a bailout. I was gearing up to torch the will in court when Amanda's email pinged. Too long since we circled wagons as a family. Dinner at mine this Saturday. Let's mend fences. It screamed setup, but instinct screamed opportunity. I RSVP'd yes, stuffing my dossier in a sleek briefcase. No clue how nuclear that night would go. Amanda's pad screamed try-hard opulence. A hulking colonial in the ritziest zip code, flawless lawns, a triple garage stuffed with gleaming rides. Pulling up in my rental, my stomach twisted. Years since I clocked Mom and Dad outside a funeral, and my last Amanda clash? Frosty as hell. Doorbell buzzed, case in grip, rocking a tailored gray suit. Sharp but understated, braced for battle. Amanda swung it wide, coiffed to kill in a gown that screamed 6 figures. Her grin was all teeth, no warmth. Brenton, thrilled you showed. Air kiss grazed my cheek, drowned in Chanel No. 5. Cruise in the lounge. Marble halls led to a showroom living room, straight off a glossy mag spread. Mom and Dad perched rigid on ivory leather, aged beyond my recall. Mom's grays were artfully dyed. Dad's frame swam in his polo, pounds shed. Son. Dad rose for a stiff handshake, no embrace. Looking solid. Mom stayed put, lips pursed in a thin smile. You're glowing. Must be that Golden State glow up. A lanky guy with silver-flecked hair breezed in, balancing cocktails. Richard, Amanda's other half, sparse meetups over the years, latest at the burial. Flashy builder type, notorious for glitzy builds that tangled in red tape or broke the bank. The wandering code, King graces us, he quipped, shoving scotch my way unasked. App Empire still peddling vaporware to suckers. I mustered a tight smile, cradling the glass untouched. Build Bridge is thriving, appreciate it. We craft software that levels the playing field for indie shops in the online arena. Amanda clapped sharply. Save shop talk for later. Brenton, refresh on Taylor and Jordan. Upstairs wrapping assignments. Quick hellos, then off to Grandma and Grandpa's for the eve. Curious flex, whisking the kids away for a reunion? Felt like clearing the deck for drama. Sure enough, the tweens materialized, spouted scripted waves, and vanished with the au pair. Silence crashed down like a curtain. Dinner's imminent, Amanda declared. Cook whipped it up before clocking out. Total privacy for our catch-up. More puppetry. I was deep in a scripted farce. The dining hall? Overkill. A banquet slab for a dozen, laid for 5 with heirloom china, sparkling stemware, and a bombastic bloom explosion centerpiece. Seats assigned. Amanda reigning at the helm, natch. Dug up all your old faves, she beamed, clueless after a decade apart. To fresh starts and family ties, she toasted. Glasses clinked. I clocked Mom and Dad's loaded side-eyes at her. Rehearsed vibes, thick as fog. I'd roll with it, probe the cracks. Salad hit first. Fancy greens with unpronounceable flair. Chit-chat skimmed the surface. Weather gripes, vague Cali probes, sanitized cousin updates. So, Brenton, Mom dipped a toe deeper. Ever Mull coming home? We'd love both kids close again. Amanda pounced pre-answer. Doubt he'd trade his tech throne for our podunk scene. I leaned in level. Funny you mention, been eyeing a local footprint, now that Grandpa's gone. Legacy needs guardians. Her eyes flashed panic, masked quick. On Grandpa, she pivoted, voice syrupy sad. Still raw. We bonded fierce those last months. Dad bobbed. Your sis was a rock. Brenton, daily check-ins, pill wrangling, every checkup. Couldn't have scraped by without her. I sipped water, face stone. Huh. Grandpa never breathed a word on our calls. Air thickened. Amanda rallied. You were slammed with deals. He spared you the gritty bits. Mom piled on. She even bailed on work shifts for him. Hero stuff. I nodded, cross-reffing lies to my files. Store folks said you popped in heavy those end days. Shift for you, Ms. Never shopped there. Her beam iced. Duty called. Place was tanking. He couldn't hack it solo. Dramatic beat. Richard's nod cueing her. Oh, and I'm flipping the store. Killer bid from a dev crew. Ground floor shops, penthouse lofts atop. Revamp city. Boom. The true agenda. Controlled reveal to gauge my freak out, dodging any court noise. I eased my fork down. Stores in the black. Anchored that block forever. Grandpa'd spin in his grave over loft vultures. Her mask slipped. He willed it to me for smart calls. Brick relic, fossil biz. This. Savvy upgrade. Who's the bidder? I pressed, knowing the punchline. Richard coughed. Prestige properties, my outfit. We've eyed that strip forever. Store seals the puzzle. Bingo. Invite clicked. Damage control on their insider flip. Cozy setup, I noted. Sis inherits, hubby scoops it cheap. Market rate, generous, even, he bristled. And the crew? Decades on payroll. Amanda flicked it off. They'll get fair payouts. Come on, Brenton, you disruption disciples love torching relics for shiny new. Mom and Dad eyed me warily, prepped for pushback. Block needs a facelift, Dad tossed. Boosts home values all round. Mom, young blood in those units, progress in motion. Their smug stares assumed I'd salute the grift, toasting Grandpa's erasure for their windfall. Mains landed, a fussy beef slab Amanda doled out like a queen bee. Appetite vanished. I plated a sliver for show. Tension coiled, storm brew thick. Their pageant was seconds from derail. You know, Brenton, Amanda sliced neat. We've puzzled your store fixation. You ghosted a decade back, no birthdays, no feasts, no milestones. Why the sudden hometown hero act? Cue the ambush I'd braced for. I forged an empire from scratch. I held steady. That demands cuts. But Grandpa? Never ghosted. Sundays, 10 years running. Mom snorted. Calls. Big whoop. Did ya know? I locked eyes. He journaled our every chat. My wins, his wisdom, our cheers, ink on page. Jaw drop city. Amanda's utensil froze. News to me. Plenty flew under your radar. I fired back. Like him blanking on your devotion. Or you blanking him on my Cali conquests. He pegged me broke all along. Dad squirmed. Spared him the fluff. Fluff. I ditched the silver. I shipped him Lux birthday hauls yearly. Begged him to Cali. Stacked brochures for a cush spot near me. Private suite, on-call docs. All MIA. Amanda flushed. He nixed Cali. Needed roots with hands-on kin. Kin who ghosted till will whispers hit. I pulled my phone, swiping pics. Father's Day score. Bespoke tool chest, custom built. His thank you snap. I flashed Grandpa's beaming mug beside it. Odd none of y'all clocked it. Richard cleared. Family snag, Brenton. Wires crossed both ways. Point is, forward march. Amanda's asset. My firm's deal. Clean as whistle. Clean. I turned. Except axed vets. Gutted hood heart. Grandpa's no-sell vow. To Richard. How long on that plot? Timing's gold. His swagger dipped. Glanced to Amanda. Years scouting parcels. Public knowledge. And pitching Grandpa direct. Amanda bulldozed. He stonewalled sales. Even when numbers screamed dump. So you idled till objections quieted. I murmured. Chills sliced the air. Mom swerved. Unfair, son. Amanda's the steady one, crunching facts, not feels. Facts like betrayal? I probed. Store bootstrapped our bloodline. Fed the town, lifelines for vets. Amanda iced over. Judgy much. You bailed. Missed his fade. The meds, the runs. I shouldered the mess while you surfed Cali glamour. Per nurse logs, I countered. You ghosted till we'll buzz 3 months out. Dead air. Dad cracked it. Nurse logs? How? Homework, I shrugged. Eerily timed. Saintly sis swoops when stakes spike. Amanda's palm cracked the table, clatter erupting. I lived it. You? Silicon sandbox. I juggled his cash, calls, crew. Juggled into a will rewrite. I iced. After decades swearing me the throne, on dope dose days his doc flagged fog. Richard barked. Watch your slant, Brenton. Wolfraud jabs? Heavy artillery. Just dots connecting, I volleyed. Lifetime pivot, med fuzzed, no whisper. Mom. Minds shift, especially spotting real ride or dies. Real like exploiting frailty. I pressed. Or chance sniffing. Amanda blazed crimson. How low? I cherished him. Lockdown visitors, calls, accounts for his good. I leaned. Sunny Pine staff sang on your endgame grip. Dad blanched. You spied on us. On his endgame truth, I fixed. Yours? Fiction. Richard seized reins. Theatrics aside, Will's locked, stores hers, my buyout's legit. Legit as your city hall emails. I hit. 8 months back, grandpa breathing, no cell mode, yet stores penciled in your blueprint. Silence strangled. Amanda's wine hand shook. Mom-Dad swapped dread darts. Snoopy from afar while we grind real dirt. Amanda spat icily. Prime reason he ditched you. Your cash crown don't trump boots on ground calls. Truth does, I held. Grandpa merited better than puppeteered please at low ebb. Sweets dropped. Gooey chocolate towers, ignored. The cozy dinner charade imploded, bearing the rot. Their eyes widened. I'd outgunned their playbook, Amanda's polish fracturing life. Amanda shoved her plate, facade shattering into fury. Always the golden boy, huh? Grandpa's pet. The dreamer. The gifted screw-up. I let her vent. The unfiltered Amanda, corporate gloss peeled. Valedictorian, Ivy full ride, law elite, fast-track boss at 30. None wowed him like your pixel toys. Venom laced it. Visits? Brenton's latest brainstorm, or check Brenton's swag, or Brenton's ink in wired. I never vied, I soothed. He beamed on us different. Your smarts, my spark. Lies, she snarled, profanity slicing the silk. He'd dump it all on you, shop, pad, gear. Me? Crumbs for a good girl. Dad? Amanda, ease, no. Truth time. She whirled to me. He told me once. You'll thrive anywhere, kid. But Brenton? Stores his shot, his mark. Like I rated Zilch legacy. I clocked her then. Raw, not rage. A scar from eternal runner-up, triumphs unseen. Never chased it, I said soft. Just his heart honored. Heart, bitter bark. His heart clung to a sinking ship. Lands the prize, I'll spin gold from it. Gold for Richard's coffers, I nudged. We earned it, she surged. Local grind while you Cali reinvented. Rules? We played. You bolted. Rules like gaslighting a frail elder? Snap. She vaulted up, chair screeching. You smug prick, she seethed inches off. Undeserving of a dime. You ditched him us. Now strut back, Applord halo blazing. I stayed planted, zen. Just truth. Amanda, what cooked in those shadows? Shockwave. She lunged, palm cracking my cheek, ring bite stinging. Out in 10, she growled. Shove your sleuthing and scram. Cheek throbbed, but worse. Mom and Dad's guffaws. Dad clapped glee. Finally, someone decks his ego. Mom piled on. Thought you'd waltz in grilling us? Post-decade ditch. Richard smirked, timer tapping. 10's merciful, I'd say 3. Ringed by blood who turned feral, isolation hit nuclear. Old ties. Vapor, swapped for greed gears. Shock ebbed to steel clarity. No fix, no bond left. But calm bloomed amid the wreckage. Their bare venom lit the path. No more fog. I rose slow, snagging my case. Arsenal of AIDS notes, emails, witness words, Grandpa's haze-log charts. You figure this ends here? I voiced cool, their laughs dying. Grandpa's light endures, and that shop? Fortified. Court tomorrow. We'll smack down. Your plot probed. Richard's firm fraud filed. Not cash grab, justice play. Amanda paled. You'll torch it all. Mom-Dad's grins froze. Plot crash dawning. Richard, wait. Let's hash a truce. I waved off, door cracking. Truce with Grandpa's ghost. Night. Dawn rewrites our saga. Crisp night air soothed as indoor frenzy erupted. Amanda's wails, folks bickering. In my ride, I thumbed my lawyer, green light. File at first light. Weeks blurred to courtroom thunder. My stack, Grandpa's Med Haze proofs, sworn tales, nailed the will as coerced fog. Judge voided it, store snapped back to me. Richard's probe unearthed his scam web, tanking deals. Amanda's legal perch crumbled, the clan's facade vaporized. Vengeance. Tempting, but I went Grandpa, grace over grudge. No sale. I fused my tech into the shop. E-commerce pulse, Maker Labs, crew upskilled. Carpenter's Corner? Reborn Riot, town's new pulse. Mom-Dad groveled apologies, ties thawed thin. Amanda? Radio silence forever. Back in Cali now, Sundays I perch by Grandpa's photo. See, old man. I toast. Kept the faith. Your spark? Immortal. Built real. Solitude. No sting, strength. True can lift dreams, don't shank 'em. Life deals dirty hands, but truth and heart trump him. Grandpa's echo? My endless fuel.